So, greetings, everyone. Welcome from the comfort of your own home or wherever you are. Um, this is our 2019 Black Sustainability Summit. Each year, we learn more and more. This year, in particular, we have focused on reflecting and particularly looking at from sustainability to sovereignty. What does that look like and what does that mean? Oftentimes, you hear this term sovereignty used quite a bit, and it is a very lofty concept and idea. It is a goal. And in order to achieve goals, you actually have to have a strategic plan or strategy to achieve it. And as we look back and reflect on the way in which our ancestors lived, traditional indigenous peoples, um, we find that within this Eurocentric worldview, we're taught that civilized people have it all figured out. And what we know as African people is that our ancestors lived aligned with nature and were able to build the greatest societies and communities. And so, what does that look like when we reclaim that knowledge and wisdom? Share and exchange that knowledge and wisdom with each other as we apply these solutions to modern day challenges, and how do we support other brothers and sisters who are doing that around the globe? So it isn't just around tree hugging as some people talk about sustainability. It really is an ancient term or concept that now has this new marker of sustainability. Um, this is about 4:37 Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Time, Daylight Time. They changed the time. Um, and my name is Afia Reyna. I probably should have led with that, but I'm pretty sure you guys could read it. Um, I have been organizing the summit since its inception, when working very closely with Mama Nobantu Ankwanda, and have gotten such magnificent support from brothers and sisters. Ina Njideka, who is joining us on the line, is one of them as well. And I want to recognize her because without her tireless efforts and support, we wouldn't be here today either. Sister Yema Brewer, our Liberian sister up in the cold Minnesota, has not joined us yet, but hopefully she does. My compliment, my husband, Charles Greenlee, has been a part of this team as well. He hosted a lot of the bamboo workshops for those who joined us in person in Atlanta last year. And Brother Emmanuel, Dr. Emmanuel, excuse me, Taylor. He's been very, very helpful last year to making this a reality and has offered up what he could despite his busy schedule this year. And so instead of me just talking, I see Sister Deborah is online and Sister Tamika. I know we heard from you all earlier in previous sessions, but I did want to open up the floor for just an introduction, if you will. I know that this is a time for us to stay connected beyond this summit. And this year, it's been just online, so we haven't had the same level of engagement that we had last year. But as we look forward to 2020 and going to Ghana, I'm going to cover that as well on the call. I really don't like just talking to a screen. And I'd like to hear some other voices briefly before I continue with where we're looking to go with the summit, the type of support we need from brothers and sisters that are doing this work and interested in contributing an hour or a few months of their time to this. So I just wanted to say hello, hear some other voices so I'm not just out here in the ethers. All right, I guess I'll be out alone in the ethers by myself. That's fine, I'll press forward. Oh, do I hear a voice?
It's Deborah. I just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work and coordinating it, keeping the fire burning, So that's why I'm here to offer my support in any way I can.
Give thanks.
All right, family, can you hear me?
And
Ah, this is interesting. All right, well, greetings, Sister Afia Reyna. thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of this year's Black Sustainability Summit. My name is Sister or Ina Njideka Kamo, and my daughter Sadai and I moved to Atlanta a little over a year ago. Prior and during, our interests haven't changed. Sustainability for African people, Bibi Fahodie, Black liberation, all of that is very much tied together. So here in Atlanta, we both have been sharpening our knowledge base and our skill sets, and really not even, just going over the top. Sister Afia Reina and Charles and the Habasha family led by Brother Kashan has been very instrumental intentionally and in our lives in terms of accomplishing those goals. So I'm grateful for that. I'm a mother of a 17-year-old daughter. I'm the guardian director of Fawo Hodie Sria Pan-African online classes. My passion is learning African culture through African dance. So I got to teach, got to stay engaged and teach that to the youth as well. But really, in terms of engagement, just nose in the grind in regards to learning, and intentional, selective, and I'm very grateful for the what can I say, inspiring individuals and groups of people that I've met so far. And repatriating to Ghana is a primary goal of my daughter and I. So we're taking what we can and sharing what we know, and then continuing to learn and share more on the continent. So yeah, that's me. Give thanks.
You. Mm-hmm. That's it. Pa. I one day I will get there with my presentation and discussion of who I am and do it as eloquently as you have. I get so caught up sometimes and just get into the point and not doing that. And it is very much so valuable. It gives you a full idea and concept of the person and the persons that come with that individual. So, Madasipa, thank you. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Sister Tamika's in a position to say anything, but if she isn't, I will continue. Largely, this time frame is dedicated to talking about the summit, our network, and where we are looking to go moving forward. I want to share my screen, I think, with you guys, just to make it a little bit more clear. And I wonder if I'm just preaching to the choir at this point, and this video will really be more so for those who weren't able to join. But as you know, we have a website. I ended up building it in 2016, and I'm looking forward to having somebody else come through and actually revamp it. However, for the purposes of this call, I will share that the main goal of the summit has been to connect people. And in doing so, we have had, I think if I can recall the number, I think we're now at like 2,180 something people who have subscribed to be a part of our network. As you can see here, we ask everybody to join our network, whether they consider themselves professionals, enthusiasts, or practitioners currently. And to date, we have around 2,100, maybe close to 2,200 network members. Membership is free, of which I'm hearing from lots of folks to have at least some type of fee associated with being a member as we seek to become a little bit more frequent with our information sharing and staying connected throughout the year. Each year we do this it's been around October after the first summit, and it'll continue to be in October, the second week of October, I think, at least for Ghana. If we decide to change it, later on, you guys will be notified. But Sister Deborah, you asked, on October 7th, we'll be leaving from wherever we are across the diaspora, across the globe. We'll leave from our home cities, and we will be making the journey to Ghana and arriving on the 8th. And we'll be spending 9 days in Accra, Liate Wote, up in Abri. We'll be moving all around Ghana. We'll be going to the coast and giving everybody a very, very rich cultural, holistic experience of what it looks like to journey to the continent for those who have not done so, and then what it looks like to contribute and give a strength to particularly Habesha and the Sustainable Institute, the Kwaku Ando Sustainability Institute that is there. I think right now the ground is being broken. My husband, myself, and my daughter recently left. We celebrated her first Earth Day in Ghana, and Brother Kashan opened up the residential headquarters for us. We did give a little bit of elbow grease and contribution, and I actually got an opportunity to make sure that our workshops were pretty solid, our housing is solid, and that we have transportation that's being arranged. Brother Kashan has been very much so a wonderful balance and strength in making sure that that happens. He is currently there as well. So I feel very confident about the 2020 summit and our journey to Ghana. If you didn't catch me earlier today, I also mentioned that starting in January, we will be having monthly calls similar to this on a Zoom line, where anybody that has actually paid their at least 10% of what it costs to make that journey. Once you've paid that, then you will be included on the calls, and you can continue to make payments as you need to. There's a Haitian brother who has a layaway ticket option, and we are going to utilize that for the summit because we do know that it is it's not $100 to get to Ghana. And you do have options for making your stay a little bit more robust if you'd like to add on, but we're doing the bare bones package for 9 days, and anybody that like to add on can add on. And so the prices may vary depending on the type of experience that you would like to have. However, it's something that we feel strongly around, making sure that we have the connection on the coast, central to the mountains, and then contributing to not only the buildings that are on site. He mentioned the domes for Africa that he's doing in conjunction with Brother Brandon Rogers with Migrating Culture. They're doing these eco domes on the Kazi site right now. We'll also have earth and home construction workshops, in addition to bamboo construction workshops, in addition to holistic health and nutrition workshops. We're partnering with the university as well for their alternative energy summit, which we will be a part of at least for one of those days. So for those that are interested in alternative energy, and doing a minor solar installation at Kazi for the community members that currently live there. So it's one thing that Brother Kashan didn't get a chance to mention. We had a really great conversation this morning. But one of the things that is important to note is, even when you're going to develop, how do you contribute back to the community of which you are now joining? And even though he was granted land and got those permissions, I'm not saying it was all free, but even though he was granted permission by the chief that was there, or king, he actually has been working to see what else he can do in addition to this development. So they've done a bridge, they've constructed a bridge so that the people can get to and from. We're looking at doing some solar installations on the schools so that the youth actually have lights. Nothing wrong with sunlight, but it is also very helpful if you can have a free electricity source. So a free energy source. And so that's also one of the things that we're looking to do when we get to Ghana. We'll have way more details hopefully by the end of November that will go up on our website. And if you are a member of our network, we have Mighty Network platform. As you can see, I've been posting these things where you can actually then see what everybody else has been sharing. Sister Deborah is here. You'll see a few other folks that are already on here that have been sharing information. And this is one of the ways we stay connected. So when we do have these quarterly in-person workshops, you learn about them on here. It's separate from Facebook, and it is a really neat way to stay connected. It's an app online if you're not familiar with it, and it'll be sent out to you once you actually join our network by following this link here. So I think I've covered a little bit about what to expect for the summit in 2020, October 7th through the 19th, and it will be in Ghana. And at the end of November, you should be able to access the details of the summit, our itinerary, and go ahead and start making your at least down payment to reserve your space. We're looking to have at least 50 come from this side. If more come, then we need to make additional accommodations. But that's what we have planned thus far. And starting in January, we'll start our monthly check-ins online. I see some people have some questions. I'm so excited, so I can stop talking. Sister Deborah, you can open your phone. I see your thing here. You said, what is the price range presently? I think it's just at 1,100 currently, and I think that includes the transportation. It does not include your flight, but that's something that we're also working on. There's a brother who presented year before last, Brother Kwabena Boateng. He and I have been partnering on an initiative, African Diaspora Nation, and within that partnership, we've been looking at what we can get KLM or Air France to commit to for bulk ticket pricing to see if we can get it at a discounted rate. So there may be some support there as well on the airfare, but right now I would say it's close to about 1,100, if not a little bit less.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. And no need for the $2,000 packages and $3,000 packages. I've had a round trip ticket, to Ghana for about $800, and made it work while I was there by being very creative and participating in the local economy and not going as a quote unquote American, if you will, with the same things that you would expect on this side. You literally do as the people do, eat as the people eat, and as a people, even on this side, we still don't engage in that extreme consumption that I think will have you kind of weak on that side when you get there looking for those same conveniences. So that's it. I also see somebody else joined us. I can only see a phone number. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to assume.
It's me, Yema.
I thought it was you, Yema. Okay.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Yema Brewer, also part of the Summit Planning Committee. Thank you all for joining us.
Yes, I gave you a shout out as well a little bit earlier.
Thank you.
Yema, what I've done so far is really just shared a little bit about what we expect in Ghana. I can go through, if anybody is interested. I really want to see I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, though. I feel like, Sister Tamika, that's not to negate your presence, sis. But you have been present largely as well on the platform in here. So I really would like to just find out what folks are looking to gain at this point, because I can stop the video if no one else is joining us, and really just dive deeper, I think.
Mepaucho, can you hear me?
Yo, Anne. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have actually a quick question, sister. In regards to the best of your ability, just off the top of your head, now I know you said a much more detailed agenda will be laid out later in November, but every time I hear you or Kashan or somebody related to everything that's going on, October and November, there's like another big event going on that is all around the same time. And I was just wondering if you could kind of, as like a timeline from which comes first and then what comes next, can you lay out some of the top, must see, must be there events that you know of? Brother mentioned something about Atlanta Cella, which I don't know if I'd be interested in that much, but definitely the Black Sustainability Summit, when that is, although you've mentioned it, but just kind of to help me comprehensively, I'm actually going to write it down as you said, but what all is going on that you know of that's really going to
It's a lot.
be so permanent? I know.
Yes, it's a lot. It is a lot. I will say this. Right now, Afrochella is an annual event. Matter of fact, here, let me do you one better so that I don't misspeak. But Afrochella, let's find something. I still need that development link right there. Afrochella happens every year in Ghana. Let's see. It's one of the biggest festivals that you'll find. They turn out just like they do here. It's at the end of the year, typically. There you are. Yep, December 28th. You see what it's about? It is not related to Black sustainability. Well, yes, it is. It's sustaining your spirit.
Okay.
You see the sister getting down. That's what it's about. And you can experience Ghana in that way, which I think it does appeal to the this one here, people wanting to go and have the experience, what kind of this and whatnot. So you can go and have a different experience. High nightlife, high energy, a lot of performances. It starts at $1,800. Yes. And I think just the basic tour package here says it's $450. So until they start to give me some funds for promoting their stuff, that's about as much as I'm going to do for Afrochella right now. But,
yeah,
you don't need to promote because it's like Martin Luther King said, Black folks buy what they want, beg for what they need.
True. So that is what's happening if you want to experience Accra, particularly in that way. What we'll be doing with the summit is having a more holistic experience of Ghana. It will. Let me pull up my thing here. Tentatively, we are spending 13 days total, 11 days on the ground, which those 9 days you can kind of work out which day you actually want to do within those 9 days. But we're saying October 7th, you're departing from your home city. I like to include it just because you add it into your schedule, right? 9 days of a summit doesn't include people actually getting to the site of the summit. It's just the actual days of the summit. But for me and my math and my family, I like to know kind of everything. October 7th, you're leaving from your home city. October 8th, this is about you kind of getting settled. If you haven't traveled, jet lag, it doesn't even matter if you've traveled. For me, I still get somewhat jet lagged. I kind of figured out how to work it out on the planes where you sleep at particular times so you can hit the ground running. But largely, most people will have jet lag. This is really where we'll be focusing on picking people up. We're getting holding sites, been working with Brother Obadale to set us up at the university so that we can have at least a holding room for folks and then provide transportation back and forth. October 9th is our rest day. You're still resting because you just traveled, right? And we'll do lunch, onboarding, and a reception. And then we will take a trip to the National Herbal Medicine Center there for those that want to learn a little bit more about holistic health. So it'd be imperative if you come late, you will miss that. You'll miss that day. On the 10th, then we will actually be packing up and leaving at 7 a.m. and going to Liate Wote, which is the site for Kazi. And from there, we'll spend 3 solid days doing bamboo, earth bag, dome structure workshops. So it's 3 days. If you want to go on the earth building track, you'll get all 3 modalities. If you want to go on the alternative energy track, you'll be participating and contributing to the solar installation largely. Everybody will contribute to the installation at some point, whether it's in the morning or in the afternoon when the sun starts to go down, because we're going to need all hands on deck. But they will focus specifically on alternative energy and going through those training workshops. And then we will also focus on sustainable ag. So we're focusing on those 3 intensive areas of agriculture, holistic health and nutrition, and eco-friendly building, with a little star for alternative energy, just because we'll be doing an installation there.
Cool.
All of your meals are included within this. If you want to bring your own funds and pay for food, it's also encouraged, so that, you know, if red isn't your thing, have you some snacks. And then after we leave from Liate Wote and really have those intensive workshop days, we will then go to Pram Pram, which is a beautiful coastline. And then we'll look at the ancestral wall that's there. Then we'll end in Cape Coast. He talked about Mama Imakus and One Africa. I don't believe she is in Ghana still. I think she has shifted and repatriated to another space. However, her business is still there. Her son is still there. It's still up and running. It's still a beautiful location. And we want to continue to give her strength. We will visit the dungeons for those who want to go. I will not share anything else beyond that. But that's the door of no return. We ask everybody to wear white. This is on Cape Coast, a healing. It's a ceremony. And it is a time for us to pay our respects. Let's see. Then after that full day there, then we'll go to Kakum and Accra to the Renewable Energy Fair. This will be the last day of their Renewable Energy Fair. So if somebody else wants to arrange to go for the full time, you know, this is all up to you all, but this is what we have scheduled because this is really the largest day. It's the expo and workshop. We'll provide breakfast at One Africa, lunch in Kakum, and then dinner at Sister Pat's is on the individuals to pay for their dinner, because it's such a wide range of what your meals can be. And then we'll end at the Art Center to do a lot of shopping. Now you're in Accra. And the following day, we'll also do a lot of shopping. At the Du Bois Center, Kwame Nkrumah Museum, people have these options to spend the full day in Accra. And then after 1 p.m., there is a Black Star Fest back up in Abri, which is maybe about an hour and a half max with traffic to get back up there. My daughter is coming, so bear with me if you start hearing some talking. And the Black Star Fest is there. We will have a beautiful evening with some reggae artists. And that will be our celebration before the 18th of October, where we do our departure and farewell. People can leave on that day, and then October 19th, you should arrive back home in your home city, depending on what your ticket looks like. If you get a cheap ticket, sometimes you have a layover in Turkey or a full day in Turkey, and then you have to hop back on. I did it. It was a beautiful experience. We got a chance to see a lot of places, and it was definitely worth it to get an $800 ticket versus a $1,200 to $1,500 ticket, which is what it normally will cost you. So that's just something for you to think through. You can work out your own ticket prices. You can do the layaway ticket if you need more time to pay for it. But the lodging is also included in the pricing, and your meals and the entrance fees to these sites, so that you don't have to come out with 25 here, 5 here, 10 there. We tried to roll everything into it. And then just for our time, I like full transparency. For our time and our energy, Brother Kashan and I are going to be sharing in an admin, just staff fee for putting it together, which is very, very, very minimal. But it does take a lot of time and energy for us to put this together. So we're not getting rich, but it is just a compensation, almost like a token of appreciation. I know I'm speaking fast. This will all be written, and you'll be able to download it and take a look at it so you can digest it toward the end of November. And then you have a month to make your decision as far as, do I have the 10% that I need to put down? And starting in January, we'll start those monthly calls. But we will have additional packages as well, 2-day packages if you want to stay in Pram Pram, to go to Kumasi, you want to see how shea butter is made, you want to see kente cloth being woven, you want to go up and go on a safari. We know that these things are a lot of fun for some people, especially if you made that trek all the way to the continent. Additionally, for those who are really, really interested in sustainable community development, we are working with the Songhai Center in Benin to then add on at the end of those 9 days. So for our team and anybody else who's interested, we'll be spending another 4 days in Benin at the end of the Black Sustainability Summit for anybody who wants to join us to go and visit the Songhai Center in Benin. That is an additional price and fee. We are working that out as we speak, but it should all be done before January gets here in our first call. So that was a lot. But thank you.
Doing a lot.
Hey, we working it out. We are working it out.
Medase, Margo, that was excellent. That's the first time that I've really heard everything kind of brought together, and give thanks for that. What is the date? What's the grand opening of Kasi?
Sorry, I muted my microphone. The grand opening is the day that we actually arrive in Liate Wote, which is October 10th.
10th, that's right. Okay. So
we'll be there from the 10th through the 13th.
I was looking at it from, as you were going over it, I was looking at it from an astrological perspective, and I was like, oh, wow, right when we go back to the dungeons is when Murphy goes retrograde, and everything with Re, and it was like totally in alignment. I was looking at that. I was like, wow, that's powerful. That's good.
That. And it was designed that way. I just wasn't aware. Look at the universe.
Exactly. And that's usually what happens. That's usually what happens. Exactly.
All right. So that's what we have planned. And it's going to take all hands on deck. I know we talk a lot about Habesha. For those who don't know, the Black Sustainability Summit is separate from Habesha. However, because we are so intertwined in our work and what we do in our relationship, you do hear the name come up quite a bit. And so this is an opportunity for us to merge what we are. I mean, this is essentially what we do as a people, right? We're all working within this space. Our goal hasn't been to replace or do anything in opposition to it. Is really to amplify that work. And so as we move forward, we'll be supporting more and more communities like Kazi around the globe, and looking at really developing more of a consortium model from this network. So if you have a business or initiative or a nonprofit or organization, they would then become a member of this network as a consortium member and receive the benefits as such. And your membership fee then goes into an impact fund. So we can stop, oh, bless, baby. So we can stop begging and asking for funds and fund our own communities and fund our own development through our own personal impact fund. So that is one part of the future of the summit and our network that I did want to share, where we're looking to grow and expand and move. So we can start funding what we want to see. And Kashan and Habesha and the vision that we have moving forward, this is the first step. And I just give thanks to that brother for making this possible and for supporting me and supporting those members of the summit by willing to be the first one. The first one. He trusts us so much. This is our first journey with a group. We're anticipating being this large to travel to Ghana. So, yeah.
Somebody else just speaking. Wow. She's getting big.
Hey, yeah. Oh, you see this one, huh?
This is when I came last year. You have 2 children or just one?
No, just one. Sahai, turn around.
Yeah, she got big.
Turn
wow.
Around. Say hello. Say hello. Turn around.
Hello.
Yes. Say hello.
Hola. Wow.
Say hi. Can you say hello?
Like both of y'all. She looking like both of y'all mixed in
Yeah. Look.
Oh.
All right. Oh, now she's excited. She's getting some attention. Okay. Hello. Oh, you want a hug? Oh, how nice. Okay, give it this back. So let me see. Let's see. And then Jideka, Yema, have I covered pretty much everything? You all have anything you'd like to add, to say, that I may have missed or that needs to be said?
For me, I think that you've covered everything, because I know this call, you really wanted to get into more detail about next year. So that was pretty full.
Okay.
I have a question. Do you have a lot of people that are talking about repatriation throughout? You see there's an increase. Have you
Yeah, for those, you mean just recently, generally for our people?
Yes.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I've seen a lot more, and it's been interesting. I think the last time we were in Ghana, April and May, and then Charles stayed through June, I think. What we saw with this whole welcoming people home, the 400 years, you know, what I saw also was a lot more of the first generation Ghanaians returning. I spoke with a lot of sisters who were saying, you know, I'm coming home. This is for us. And, you know, typically members of the diaspora, people of African descent, or as they're saying, this whole ADOS, African descendant of enslaved Africans, we were included in that. And I know Brother Obadale has done a lot of hard work, tireless work, to Obadale Kambon has done a lot of work to make sure that we were included in that, being welcomed home as well, because typically they were just talking about those who were first, maybe even second generation Ghanaians coming back home, returning home. Now with this 400 years, you see more of a large welcoming and a more general, you know, acceptance of us returning home. And you see this piece not only in Ghana, but also in Senegal, with the, what do you call it? The, what do you call, I know y'all know what I'm talking about, where you get dual citizenship. Excuse me. So yeah, I have seen a rise. I have seen more and more people talking about returning. I'm gonna move. I can go now. And I mean, Wakanda. This whole, I keep calling it Wakanda, but okay. This whole piece around Black Panther has really, you know, have more and more people that you wouldn't have considered saying, you know, I would like to at least visit, if not move, at least visiting. And when they get there, they are very shocked that, oh, it's not bones in the nose and people with flies in the, I mean, it's so sad, the things that they're saying.
You know, I think Black people are traveling more in general now. It's like the fad. So, you there?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm having to discipline this child right now, but continue.
Coco, go out. Go out, Coco. Hello. Come out of here. Go out. Okay. I said go out. Go out, Dom.
Want some love. That's all it is. Some love and attention.
Yeah, I guess we both got our attention grabbers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
I didn't forgot my train of thought. What I was going to.
You were asking about, you know, what people, the trend around repatriation, and I'm saying it is growing. I mean, so much so that you heard Kashan this morning. He's talking about they've developed their own program for repatriation to help people get acclimated. It's that many people, and most people are doing it in this whole cold turkey or cold veggie style, right? Where they're just, I'm just gonna go, and they pack up and they leave, and it's like, wait, there's some things to be aware of, because Your money is going to run out. Your money will run out if you don't have a plan.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Your money will run out if you don't have a plan, and that's one of the things that they've been doing a really good job about. One thing I would also like to see, or one thing that is actually being embedded in the process also for those who are traveling with us, is learning the language, at least the basic terminology and words, the same way that people do when they go to other countries. You know, a little bit goes a long way. And being able to speak, most of our brothers and sisters that are not from the United States or that have lived here largely actually speak multiple languages. And so we definitely need to rebalance and regain and reclaim that knowledge and history and reference point by better understanding the language, better understanding those reference points, and being able to communicate with our brothers and sisters on that side. And so if you would like to learn more around the language, even as you seek to repatriate, maybe even to some different countries, it is important to learn the language. And we bring him up consistently, but Brother Obadale Kambon does have a Bibi Tumi, formerly a Bibi Tumi Casa, and a Bibi Fordie, where you can learn various African languages and also the culture that is tied to those languages. So as you see a rise, sis, make sure that they know, don't just go and taking that same mindset and mind state and going on that side and expecting it to be, you know, this Mecca. We are dealing with our own challenges there as well. And so when we come, we need to be able to contribute, and to contribute authentically is to also make an effort to learn the language and really immerse ourselves and not go and become separatists.
Nepalcho, just a real quick question, sister. The itinerary that you went through, how much of that coincides with the adult intensive, the Black to Our Roots adult intensive itinerary? Is it parallel? I mean, is it the same, or do you go different ways?
No, it's not the same. Well, I mean, there are some similarities, but we don't dive as deeply as they do on Black to Our Roots. Black to Our Roots, you are doing that you have homework. You have a lot that you're going to learn. And what she's referring to is Habesha has a Black to Our Roots program where they initially were taking youth, and now they've expanded in the past few years to actually taking adults and learning our story, our history from our own perspective and applying an African worldview to this. So it's a lot more intense with learning various leaders. Is very broad. It's very broad, I will say that. And what we're doing is focusing specifically on sustainability, acclimating yourself. We are going to be using or partnering more so, I won't say using, but partnering with them for some of the training that they offer for acclimation and prep for folks that are looking to travel. But largely we won't be doing the intensive here, study this person, learn about give us homework on that. So, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. I sat in on, I was at their first orientation, and it is heavy. That's like 8 months prior to you going for the 2 weeks in Ghana. Mm-hmm. But the 2 weeks in Ghana for them, I know that they're connecting with Black Sustainability Summit, aren't they? The roads converge, and I didn't know. Now that there's like this full agenda for the Black Sustainability Summit in Ghana and going to different places all around the country, I didn't know if you all were, traveling on some of those places together or not.
It is not my understanding right now that Black to Our Roots will be a part of that. I do know that the Habesha leadership team will be there, and I will have to confirm with Kashan before I say anything else. I do know that a lot of the Habesha family will be there the week prior to the summit to give a strength to the opening of Kazi, and they will participate in the summit. the leadership team. I don't know about the adults who are also joining. If they want to extend their time to stay,
How far is
it may be an
Kasi?
option for them.
How far is Kasi?
Nadasi, thank you.
Mhm.
Sorry,
You said how far is Kazi?
from across from the main. Yeah.
Oh, from Accra. I don't know how far from Accra because when I traveled from the residential headquarters, which is where we'll be traveling from as well. I would say, let me do my math really quickly, maybe 4.5 hours because it took us 3 hours from the residential headquarters from Abri. It took us 3 hours to get there, going,
Okay.
and then 3 hours to return. So
Okay.
there's somebody else that has a question, the 317 number. Anybody else have questions around the Black Sustainability Summit, the future in Ghana in 2020, our network?
I have one more question. I'd like to, if you, I know you're in November, but do you have any flyers or anything? Because I have friends I told about time to complete and not have time, but if you have like a flyer or something that talks about the dates that I could send out to people who I feel might be interested ahead of time so they have time to plan, that would be great.
Definitely. I will share that. We'll have the flyers available well before we'll have the itinerary finalized. I think our biggest piece is on the airfare, if airfare will be included or not, and if we want to roll airfare into it, or if we don't, and then just a few other details that I really want to have included in the detailed version. I gave you guys a lot of information, and we still have that, but I'll get you a flyer. Should be available, I say, the beginning of November, and then further details will be available at the end of November.
I was just attending a retreat summit, and one of the things they said, never do is include transportation to the place. I don't know if that applies, or I don't know if the discount would apply, but I just, when you said that, I just thought about the workshop I just went to for planning retreats. Have you heard of that? Like, it's really crazy to put price because it's in terms of like reimbursement, and it's just a lot of people flying from different places.
Right. That's the
Find
thing.
it hard to coordinate.
I think for me
Yeah.
personally, I don't want to coordinate the plane ticket piece. I want people to find.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
find really good deals.
Exactly.
So I don't go that route because I know that they err on the side of the more expensive ticket so that they can cover it.
It's better not to, because people got buddy pass. Like my brother works with Delta, and it's like it's less of a headache for the coordinators not to have to worry about that at all. You know?
Right. I the only thing I will say is the layaway ticket option, right? For those who need to pay on it, that makes it easier if they don't, have whatever. If it makes it easy for you to reserve your space and then for you to continue to pay on it bit by bit, maybe get somebody to give you a bit here and a bit there and you can put it toward it. That's an option. The only thing with the layaway tickets is there has to be a international flight associated with that account. And you can search on there and find your own flight through that platform. But that doesn't mean that price is included within our package. So as of right now, we are not managing any of the flights. What I was sharing was to your point, Sister Deborah, if we could get a discount for a group, if we say we have 50 people confirmed that they want to go, can we get flights at this particular rate to negotiate that through this brother and his connections? Would be the only time that I would then kind of say, hey, you guys might want to get in on this. But yeah, if you have buddy passes, that's $3.99 or at least discounted for international flights. So I would just tell people, get there, and then this is the price once you get there, where your food and your lodging and your entrance fees are actually covered in 2020 when we're in Ghana.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? I saw quite a few people join us. If you have questions around the future of the summit, any of the presentations that you've seen, actually, that's what I was supposed to do. Yama, where were you? Where are you, my sister? You normally you're the other brains. You are the brains. I forgot.
No, I mean, we're covering Ghana. I mean, then after Ghana's topic is done, then we can switch gears to, open questions for the videos or anything for right now.
Yeah. Okay.
It seemed like there was a lot more detail needed for Ghana, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll completely forgot. I see somebody else. Someone else unmuted their microphone. Do you have questions, comments?
So this is Tamika. One, thank you so much. So this is more in regards to the Black Sustainability Summit, as well as your futures and operations within Ghana. I have a lot of work that I do in Africa and Benin, as well as Kenya and Uganda, because I'm actually sourcing cotton from the region in order to use as for my shirts, for my Blank Cotton t-shirt line. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really interested in understanding how I can just support, and give back and, like you said, add value, because we do also support schools in Uganda, Kampala specifically. So I just like to understand how I volunteer, how I help, and how, I can kind of connect all of the dots, because I have a lot of international work that I do back home in our motherland. So just really wanted to just say thank you for all of the work that you're doing with the summit, all of you and your team's work that you're doing with the summit, and just really looking forward to connecting in a more supportive and authentic way. So I'll probably be reaching out here shortly. So thank you for allowing us to be a part.
Oh, give thanks. It is definitely a pleasure. This is why we do it. I would say we would love to have you join the committee. Also, we are looking at various ways to have other organizations at a sponsorship level to support financially, but also to have support in planning and in making those deeper connections, particularly, I've got my screen shared and all of this stuff is up and I can't get it out. But it's the family, so it's fine.
Got us all in your business.
Right. I'm like, how do I stop this share? But I will say, I was actually looking for something to share with you on there, but I think for us to stay connected, you're on the platform, right? The Mighty Network platform.
I am. I know we've been trying to connect with a call or what have you, but yes, right. I'm on the platform. Please forgive me if my responses are a little delayed.
It's all right. It's all right. But we will stay connected. To have you as a member to join kind of the planning committee, and to see how that intersects, I think it'll be really helpful. And you can share the level of commitment that you can make at that time. To say, this is what I can do. This is where I really thrive. And this is what we actually need as we're looking for this to grow. That would be very, very much so beneficial. Additionally, I did mention that we are looking to go to Benin at the end of the 2019 Black Sustainability Summit in Ghana. And so any other connections that you may have and other ways that we can support, I would love to explore those with you as well. So definitely we have to follow through on our intended connection. And make it a reality, especially now that the summit is done and all I owe is Deborah a flyer at the beginning of November. And our team will have the details for the summit available toward the end of November. But yeah, we should definitely stay connected between that time.
Yes, ma'am. I look forward to it. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Is there anyone else? I see somebody else's microphone is unmuted. I'm trying to go down the line here. Is it Sizwe? No? Okay. 317-500 number. Did you have any questions, comments? You just listening in? We can hear you if you do. All right. right, we'll mute that. Yeah, I feel like we've been answering a lot of questions so far. Anybody have questions on presentations? Any trouble accessing the presentations? Any trouble being able to view them? Any questions around what you've heard, seen, want to connect with some of the presenters? Something that you're actually looking to do? Why you actually joined us? What you're seeking to gain and what you'd like to get? I know for those who have registered, we have that information on file and we'll be following up with folks. But for those who have actually joined and can give their voice and their energy over the line, it'd be great to hear from you all. What you've learned, gained, seeking to continue to gain as well. I think I scared a few people off. I know public speaking is one of the scariest things for many people, but I just saw about 3 people drop off the line. So I won't pressure anyone. I offered it up and they were like, oh no, let me click off. Sorry. But yeah, if not, if there's nothing else, I don't know, Yema, if you have anything we should add, and then Judeka, anything else we should add before I close it out? I know it's about 5:30. We've been on for about an hour. At this point, I have really enjoyed talking, learning, listening, and answering questions. So I'm trying to...
I do want to just...
How many people do we have on this call right now?
At this point now, 2, 4, 6.
Okay. And some new people. Well, okay. No, I don't have anything else to add right now. Just want people to stay connected with us on Mighty Networks and on our email list.
In about, 90 minutes, there's a 7 p.m. Eastern Time follow-up call for the presentations for today. I did get a chance to kind of skim through 2. And but I'm aware of the other ones, and in the past I've listened to them. They're just as great. You can't really rate them compared to the other ones. They're just as great as the other ones. Sister Raina really, really chose and selects some outstanding content heavy, instructional, informative videos this year. So 7 o'clock. Come on back.
Oh, yes, Madasi.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I think for those who see, there's more people joining at this point too. Yeah, if you have, let's see. I see a question. How is the summit recognizing elders in agricultural history like George Washington Carver, Tuskegee, Wangari Maathai, etc.? I believe, just to answer your question, and Judeka, Yema, you all please also feel free to join in. But as far as our recognition, I think it's for the audience that's here. Most people do have a knowledge of these ancestors and those who have paved this way. Many of our presenters definitely pay homage to them regarding the specific, I'm doing a bobblehead right now, regarding the specific field of sustainability. So for those that are within our sustainable agriculture or sustainable food production component, if they are presenting on that, I know Brother Kashan has mentioned Wangari Maathai, George Washington Carver. Others have talked about standing in the shade of trees that we didn't plant, and some of the ancestors that they've learned from, listened to. Some have even sat at their feet. They've been naming their institutes in honor of them. There have been others who have shared, where they've gotten their inspiration. We've mentioned Dr. Nana John Henry Clark, as far as when we talk about shifting our worldview, healing from oppression's wounds in past years. I just believe that our team has been very, very instrumental in selecting the presenters and knowing that they will pay homage to them, but we haven't done anything major as far as having a presentation, particularly educating around those who have been doing that work or those ancestors. I actually like the idea and the concept because everybody may not be at that stage, but largely we have seen those that have been attracted to the summit, just guilty, have not been doing the best job at promoting, but spend a lot of time and energy on developing the website and the SEO, search engine optimization. And we are attracting the people who are searching for this. And typically they have that background and knowledge. So thank you for that question. Actually would like to incorporate that in the future.
I wanted to say that you're saying how is the summit recognizing elders in agriculture history? I think that, again, I was just mentioning what a good selection of videos that were chosen for this year. I think that there's a good number of honorable living elders, elders versus ancestors, that are actually presenting this year. Nana Siti, she's over 70 and a world of information. And there's some other elders who, you can tell that they're talking and walking the talk. They are actually living, they're doing it. And so that's another way of recognizing by inviting the elders to give those presentations, to post those videos so they can be available to us.
That's actually a really good point. And yeah, we do make the distinction between those living and those living elders and those ancestors who have made their transition and paved the way. Just to add to that, I think I definitely have made sure that we have a balance between, actually there hasn't been a balance for the young people, but I have had maybe about 5 under the age of 25 present at the summit. And the rest are, within their middle age. And then I will say largely those who have been doing this work around 45 and up. Mama Nobantu, and like you said, Nana Siti, Baba Rashid, he actually is on the schedule today as well. But thank you for the question. And I hope we've clarified it. Okay. He's also sharing, is permaculture science a part of the summit? I'm fortunate to be the oldest permaculture professor. All right. In the States, based in Tennessee. We would love you. And I'm sorry, I'm reading his question, not reading it out loud because I'm excited. I'm fortunate enough to be the oldest permaculture professor in the States, based in Tennessee, and would like to be more involved for next year. We would love to have you. Each year we have on our site, let me share my screen very briefly. On our site, we have a space for a call for presentations. I think I actually took it down. But it typically pops up right here where we replace register with call for presentations. And here you get all of the information as far as what is required, how to submit a proposal to actually present. And we really encourage that it's more hands-on and less quote unquote death by PowerPoint, if you will. And we're really sharing that information. We'd love to have you join us either in Ghana or online. We always have an online component for those who are not able to make the financial commitment to join us wherever we are in person, that we always keep an online component and that it's free. We do ask for donations because it does take a lot to put this on each year. It is definitely a labor of love, but that is something that we would love to have you participate. I think Brother Yao Agbade, who is in Rwanda currently, he has offered permaculture classes virtually for members of our network at a discount. However, it would be wonderful to hear from somebody who has been doing this time and time again for years and can give us that experience. We'd love to have your presentation end up here in the future year, as well as if you have a presentation that you want to give a little bit sooner, we are looking to have quarterly workshops. So let's discuss offline as well. I love to stay connected and engaged. Our team will definitely be able to follow up with you. Our email address is on here. You can find it in our contact page. But it's blacksustainabilitysummit@gmail.com. You should have been getting emails from us anyway in order to join us here. But we would love to stay connected and have you join us. Thank you. Let's see. Some others have dropped off. Let's see. Yes. Anyone else have questions? Akumra Minra. Your microphone is unmuted. If you have questions, comments, something that you've seen in the summit. Oh, you muted your microphone. We were looking forward to hearing your voice. That's fine though. Okay, just going back and forth between mute and unmute. So yes, I think that's really all that I have. If no one has anything else to share, comments around the presentations that they've seen, looking forward to having you join us next year, or at least in the upcoming workshops that we're looking to have quarterly. Baba, is there anything else I'm missing? Anyone else before we close out? It's about 5:42, and I know we'll be rejoining at 7 p.m. so that attendees have an opportunity to just speak amongst themselves around what they've seen, meet, greet, get connected with others at 7 p.m. Well, don't let me drag it on. I will just say major gratitude